I've told you before, and I've pointed out so many goddamn controlled opposition assets, it's not even fucking funny. And a lot of people today, they function as them because they repeat the controlled opposition asset narratives, or the controlled opposition narratives is a better way to put it. This is Santos Bonacci, and somebody took the time, a superficial internet baby, to crap out a caption so you'll see where it's going the moment I, scroll up. Well, and if I do this, and this.
The Synagogue of Satan is a good book, and it goes back to the Aryan Rothschilds who pretend to be Jews. You see, this is why a lot of people so mistakenly say that it's the Jews. The Jews are the vampires, and it's always the Jews. They run everything. No, they don't. The Vatican runs everything. The Triple Crown. The Pope wears a triple crown. And what's that for? Well, it's for the corporation called the Vatican, the corporation called the Holy See, and the corporation called the Roman Curia. Woo! They can do shit unless those corporations allow them to do shit, and they own.
Right. I remember watching one of your older videos where Christopher Columbus didn't discover shit. He actually got permission from the Pope to discover America, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Look it up. Christopher Columbus was part Jewish. Period. Ask Google if it was founded by Jewish interests. Repeat this process with DuckDuckGo, Yandex, and Microsoft Bing. Period. Ask Google if it was... Oh, pardon me, I did the wrong one. If CBS was founded by Jewish interests, and repeat this process with ABC and NBC, when you get to NBC, you're probably going to have to compare and contrast the fact that most, if not all, major Hollywood studios were also founded by Jewish interests, and or absorbed by Jewish interests, period. This also applies to every single goddamn social engineering platform you could think of, that superficial people were trained to refer to as social media, period. The Republic fell during the Civil War and was finalized in 1871, period. 1871 marks when the Organic Act established the third-party phony jurisdiction called the District of Columbia, period. The District of Columbia is the bottom of the trilateral city-states as symbolized by the Washington Monument, period. The middle of the trilateral city-states is the Vatican in Roma, and it's also symbolized by an obelisk, look up the numerous names associated with it, period. The top of the food chain is located in the UK, it is a city-state as well, and it's known as the Crown, aka the City, it is the banking financial district, where all the money goes and where all the money flows, period. Santos Bonacci is a controlled opposition asset who has been paid. It didn't work, did it? Santos Bonacci. I should just call him Banana. Bonacci. Yeah, it's close enough. Is a controlled opposition asset, despite the fact that his last name is misspelled, period. The trilateral city-states are in league with Israel, which is why the bottom and the top are the two major powers which helped establish the earthly abomination that is Israel, period. By the way, you would hear Santos Bonacci mention this, because Israel happens to relate to the zodiac, something that Santos talks about often, but Santos is a controlled opposition asset, period. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm trying to remember what else. He rattled off something else in here that's absolutely absurd. I can't think of it. And I'm tired of saying these things. And I'm tired of being surrounded by superficial internet babies who don't have a fucking clue what's going on. If something pops up in your feed, you're probably being spoon-fed shit because this is the age of disinformation and patently fascist censorship. And what I said today will probably be censored online. In other words, 2,866 fucking retards won't see the post. And they certainly wouldn't like it because I'm not jerking them off. I'm not rubbing their bean. And 2,503 of them, which, I mean, this is just insane if you really think about it. If you were me, if you were doing things, that matter, unlike most people. When you compare and contrast, 2,866 people saw this and liked it, at least, and 2,503 of them circulated the propaganda. That's pretty wild. At best, I get 3 views, and usually one of them is me checking to see if the video has video, and if it has audio, and if it uploaded, or was it removed? Was it flagged? This probably doesn't mean anything to you because you're probably a superficial internet baby. Look into what I said. Don't buy into it. Just because Santos Bonacci will tell you some things that vaguely reflect reality, that doesn't mean that he's a good guy. The fact that he has traction is proof that the algorithm is not censoring what he leaves online because he's a controlled opposition asset.